Have you ever wondered what the greatest minds in history, all of them, thought about one specific topic? Like love or justice or the meaning of life? It seems like an impossible question to answer, right? You'd have to read thousands and thousands of books. Well, it turns out there's a tool, a kind of master key, that lets you do just that. And today, we're going to learn how to use it.
No, really, just think about that for a second. How would you do it? If you wanted to know what Aristotle, Darwin, and Freud all had to say about human nature, where would you even start? You could spend your entire life in a library and barely scratch the surface. It's a massive problem. But what if there was a shortcut?
Okay, so the first piece of this puzzle is this incredible collection, the great books of the Western world. It's basically a gigantic library packed into one set. It's got the foundational works of philosophy, science, literature, the whole shebang. You can think of it as one single conversation that's been going on for 2,500 years. But, even with all the books in one place, you still need a way to navigate it all.
And that is where this comes in. Meet the Syntopicon. Seriously, before Google, before any search engine existed, this was the search engine for great ideas. It's this absolutely brilliant analog tool that was designed specifically to help you navigate that great conversation we were just talking about.
So what exactly is it? Well, a Syntopicon isn't like the index in the back of a normal book. It doesn't just look for keywords. No, this is an idea index. It lets you pick a huge concept, and then it points you to every single place in all of those great books where that idea is being discussed. It lets you literally trace an idea as it evolves through centuries of thought.
All right, so how do you actually use this thing? Well, step one is the easiest part, and it's exactly like using Google. You have to know what you're looking for. You need your search term.
And this is your menu. The whole Syntoponicon is organized around 102 of what it calls the great ideas. You can see them here, listed alphabetically, everything from angel all the way down to world. Each one of these is a doorway into a massive, centuries-long debate. All you have to do is pick which door you want to open.
So for our little tutorial here, we're going to walk through one example together. And let's pick a big one, something everyone's got an opinion on. Chapter 51, Man. We're about to find out what some of the greatest thinkers had to say about what it means to be human. Now, before you dive headfirst into some really dense philosophy, it's probably a good idea to get the lay of the land first, right? You need a summary, kind of like the previously on before an episode of your favorite show.
And the Syntoponic has you covered. Each of those 102 chapters kicks off with a fantastic introductory essay. This thing is your tour guide. It gives you all the context you need. It'll lay out the major arguments, point out the big disagreements, and trace how the idea has changed over time. It gets you prepped for what you're about to read.
Okay, so you've got the overview. Now it's time to zoom in. The idea of man is, well, it's huge, right? It's way too broad. We need a way to find the specific corner of that conversation that we're actually interested in. In other words, we need a map. And here it is. This is the outline of topics. I'm telling you, this is the real secret sauce of the Syntopicon. It takes a massive, sprawling concept and breaks it down into a super clear, structured outline of smaller topics. This is where the tool goes from just being cool to being incredibly powerful.
I think the best way to get your head around this is with a city map analogy. So the great idea itself, man, that's the entire city. The main numbered topics, like number 2 here, man's knowledge of man, those are like the different districts or neighborhoods in the city. And then the little lettered subtopics, like 2A, immediate self-consciousness, those are the individual streets in that neighborhood. It lets you navigate right to the exact spot you want to explore.
So, you've picked your destination on the map. Now for the most important part, getting the exact GPS coordinates. This is where we learn how to read the codes that take you to the exact pages in the great books themselves. Okay, I'll admit, when you first flip to the reference section, it can look a little intense. It's just this dense wall of what looks like code. But trust me, don't be intimidated. Once you see the pattern, it's actually super simple to read. It's just a system, and any system can be cracked. And this page right here, this is the key. Right near the front of the Syntopicon, you'll find the explanation of reference style. This is your Rosetta Stone. It breaks down the entire code for you piece by piece. The most brilliant part is that the book itself teaches you how to use it. So, let's just use the example from that very page to see how this all works. We're going to deconstruct one of these reference lines together, and you'll see just how easy it is.
All right, first up, you get a number. In this case, it's 35. That's it. That's just the volume number in the Great Book set. So right off the bat, you know exactly which book to pull off the shelf. Easy. Next, you've got the author's name, usually in all caps.
Here, we see LOCK for the philosopher John Locke. So now we know we need volume 35, and we're looking for a work by Locke. Simple enough, right?
Following the author's name, you get the title of the work. In this case, it's Human Understanding. This is super helpful because some volumes might have a few different works inside, so this tells you exactly which one to open.
And now we start getting really specific. This part refers to how the author themselves divided their own book. So BK2CH21 just means you need to go to Book 2, Chapter 21 of Locke's Human Understanding. This gets you into the right neighborhood. And finally, the exact address. These are the page numbers. But what about the letters? Well, the pages in these books have two columns, so A is the left column, B is the right. The C and D just divide the page in half. So this reference is telling you to start reading on page 178 in the left column and read all the way to page 200 in the bottom right part of the page. It's an unbelievably precise system.
And that's really it. That's the whole system. See, it's not just about finding quotes for a research paper. A tool like this gives you a seat at the table with some of the most profound thinkers who ever lived. It literally empowers you to join the great conversation.
So, let's just do a quick recap. The 4 steps. 1. Pick your topic from the 102 great ideas. 2. Get the overview by reading that chapter essay. 3. Consult the map, that's the outline of topics, to find your specific area of interest. And 4. Follow the references by cracking the code to find the exact passages. That's it. 4 steps.
So you now have the key. You know how to unlock this incredible 2,500-year-old dialogue. The only question left is, which of the great conversations are you going to join first? Are you going to dive into truth, beauty, justice? The library is waiting for you.